The Sniperwolf downward spiral continues, because recently it's come to light that she's been accused of a physical altercation with familiar foe Azzyland. And SSSniperwolf is somebody who has been the forefront of controversy for quite a long time now, because in 2023 she had her doxing scandal with jacksfilms, obviously the lawsuits, the loss of monetization, and obviously the feud with Azzyland. If you're unaware of the feud, basically SSSniperwolf decided to accuse Azzyland of stealing her content. This led to Azzyland doing a video on the Nerdcity channel where she came with quite strong receipts. And it is worth noting that during this time when Sniperwolf was under a lot of scrutiny, a lot of public heat, her only public apology she did is when she had her monetization taken away. But fast forward to now and Sniperwolf has yet another issue, because Azzyland has accused her of physically assaulting her. Anyway, hello ladies and genitals, my name is John5161. If I've not annoyed you yet, please do consider subscribing, because we are super close to 10k, so you know, that would be cool. But anyway, cast your minds back to 2018. There was some mega big and cool Fortnite event going on where they got loads of creators and celebrities, and for some reason they decided to invite Sniperwolf as a pro. And given that now we know Sniperwolf has had someone claim to do her gameplay for her over the years, it just makes it seem even funnier. So it's no surprise to anybody viewing this that she came dead last with 0 points. Nice effort, Leah. I'm sure the Wolfpack Ultras were absolutely buzzing with that display.
Billed as the pro gamer in a pro-amateur duo, Sniperwolf was outplayed by everyone on the stage that day, including the amateur playing with a bucket on his head. All said and done, her team finished tied for dead last with 0 points.
Pro gamer, everybody. But for everybody who tuned in who was devastated that they got to see merely seconds of Sniperwolf on their screen, I'm sure they'd be overjoyed to see the alternative content that she brought to our attention. This included a heated row with her partner at the time, and this isn't something that we're not used to. They've had many interactions with each other on their own videos where they get a little bit shouty with each other, and she's even said it herself.
When I don't get my way, I scream, and I scream really loud.
So you can imagine that with this attitude, and then being exposed for having the gaming ability of a hamster in a microwave, well, tempers began to flare. The red mist had indeed descended. And after placing joint last, the man who claims to record her gameplay for her, well, he wasn't best pleased. This led to many people seeing a little bit of a fallout that they had.
He's dead. Killing her.
For doing so badly in Fortnite.
Yeah, I think that's what why it was. He was probably like coaching her to like be good at that, and he left.
I honestly have no idea how they anticipated this would go. If it's true that he had been doing her gameplay for years, well, entering a competition based off gaming ability, what did you expect? What did you think was going to happen? What is the desired outcome? Did you really think she was just going to absorb the energy in the room around her and channel her inner Tyler Blevins?
I'm not seeing enough movement.
It was a recipe for disaster. And this sort of lack of awareness is quite telling for a lot of the things that are going to be discussed in this video, because the accusations thrown in her direction in the recent Nerdcity video, well, it kind of shows that she hasn't got a clue. But if we take a step back from the verbal war with her partner, we can see that this isn't the only heated interaction that she's been accused of getting involved with. But if you need better understanding of Sniperwolf and her aggression, this clip might help.
I'm one of those lovely people that as soon as I get mad, they take out all their frustration. When I get mad, it's real quick.
When I get mad, I get really mad.
Sounds like a lovely person. Definitely safe to have on stage in front of hundreds and thousands of people. And definitely a logical move to put this person in front of other creators in a public setting. Because none of this is unexpected. All you had to do was just watch some of her older videos. Sniperwolf has always been very open about her volatile nature. She's spoken about how she can get angry when she's being extremely competitive when doing some sort of competition or gaming. She's never been one to hide the emotions.
If I lose, like, I'll go apeshit or cry or attack people. I'll literally attack people. I get really, really competitive.
Things like this are quite unsettling to see now. This person has a platform where she's literally spoken about her own negative traits. Then we see them actually displayed in a public event, and Azzyland had to feel the brunt of it. But I guess it's quite strange that a supposed gamer who claims to be extremely competitive in these videos, well, as far as we're aware, she wasn't even playing the games in those videos. So does this mean she's literally making up being competitive whilst overlaying footage of her not gaming?
So is she making it up?
Is she actually competitive? Because you can't claim to be competitive in this space if you're not even, well, competing. Like, apparently you didn't even take part. But enough of my rambling, let's hear what Azzyland has to say.
They were like in a circle, and I walked to the bathroom, and then when I was walking back, I saw them, and they're like, "Hey, Azzy," and then I was like, "Sniper's there," and I'm like, "Oh, you know what? Just be nice." They just walk over, and then I go in there and I got really awkward, so I started like just telling an embarrassing story of myself, and she just like is looking at me. She's silent and she's like angry, and then she like lunges at me.
I guess that competitive edge was really shown. But all jokes aside, that is genuinely awful to see. This person has a platform of 34.4 million subscribers at the time of recording, and she's still getting plenty of views on all of her videos. No way near what she did prior to the controversies. It is clear to see that YouTube's little favourite is definitely losing support, but she still has a massive social media presence, to the point where she will make a comfortable living and then some. It's just a little worrying that she still continues to make money from this, because yes, apparently she's started earning again. She got her little slap on the wrist for doxing someone, because according to YouTube, making a rich person just not earn money for a little while is sufficient punishment for literally exposing another creator's home. Make that one make sense. Because if all of this is true, she was literally in a public setting with loads of other creators. Is this really the type of person that YouTube should be protecting? Sniperwolf literally comes across as unhinged, yet continues to make videos on this platform, making an absolute killing. Because having 6 witnesses to this is crazy to me. You're telling me at no point she didn't look around and think, maybe, just maybe,
I shouldn't lash out at someone around all of these people?
Obviously, you just shouldn't be doing it anyway, regardless of who you are or your surroundings. But to do such a thing when your whole life, your whole background is about being in the public eye, then when surrounded by people, you act in this way. Because to me, I'm sorry if this sounds a bit far-fetched, but it kind of gives me the impression that you shouldn't have the responsibility of making content that's accessible to young people.
Oh yeah, she was like, oh yeah, she screaming at me. She's like, a bunch of words I can't actually say on YouTube. But the one sentence I can say is she goes, "You fake your gameplay!" and then charges towards me, swinging.
SSSniperwolf accusing someone of faking gameplay is the last thing I expected to hear. Then again, I never thought I'd hear Sniperwolf accusing somebody of stealing content, but here we are. It's an interesting tactic from Sniperwolf, it really is. You know full well people are accusing you of something, so you go, oh, you know what, I'll accuse them of doing the same thing. I'm just going to attack someone else for it. It would be a good tactic if it wasn't bloody ridiculous. For me, it shows the sign of a guilty person if you're being accused of something, so you decide to just go point the finger at other people and tell them they're doing exactly what you're being accused of. Most people would just try and deny things, they'd go quiet, or maybe even, and sorry if this is a difficult concept to grasp, take accountability and apologize. You know, attempt to correct mistakes made. Some people in the world just think, let's get violent, because that always solves issues, doesn't it? It would be quite interesting to hear what the words that Azzy can't repeat on YouTube are. However, in the rest of this video, Nerdcity goes really in-depth into narcissistic traits. That's not really something I'm going to delve too much into in this video because I don't have anywhere near the understanding that he would based on the research that he did. However, he does go on to talk about Sniperwolf's response to the initial video he did on her with Azzyland.
When confronted by overwhelming evidence of her guilt, of her hypocrisy at the very least, what Sniperwolf didn't say was, okay, you got me, or, all right, listen, I don't mean to send so much hate towards Azzy. Guys, don't attack her anymore.
Yes, as bad as it is, did we ever expect a logical response from Sniperwolf? Because honestly, no response would have been better than the response that she did. Instead of doing something similar to what Nerdcity brings up here, she instead decides to double down in the loosest possible use of that term, because it's complete and utter bollocks. Like, I know we shouldn't expect anything with real substance, but this was bloody terrible.
I have a backup of videos and screenshots before she changed the thumbnails to make it look like I copied her.
I have proof she copied my thumbnails, SEO, the way I speak, the jokes I make.
The way you're trying to manipulate this
Is fraud!
It's quite a tragic watch, isn't it? Somebody with such a large history and large following on this platform, someone who has so openly spoken about their attitude to people when they don't get their own way, somebody who talks about screaming at people. You give her the slightest poke and BAM! Have this reactionary tweet, because that will sure show them there's no coming back from this. Well, they did, and they is community notes. God, I love community notes.
A community note then came out of nowhere with a big steaming revelation that said,
"This doesn't prove anything."
Sometimes less is more, ladies and genitals, because that's all we really needed to say. And she really thought she did something there. I bet she sat there planning out that tweet. She was about to press send thinking it's some serious comeback and everybody's going to be bowing down to her, apologizing, begging for her forgiveness. No one did. did they? Let's be honest. So what you've done with your tweet is literally say we do similar stuff. Not the same, just similar. She really doesn't help herself, does she? Considering people have literally played videos of something Azzyland has done, then displayed the exact same in a Sniperwolf video later down the line. We're talking words, voice, and exact same clips they're reacting to. Again, it just seems like it's somebody who knows that they've done something wrong and they're just trying to blame the victim for doing exactly what they've been accused of. All in order to attempt to manipulate the public opinion. This is a big YouTuber, by the way. This is someone with a giant platform. Someone who's been active on social media and making content on social media as their job for years. It's just a really embarrassing look for her. But she was being absolutely roasted in the comments, as you'd expect, to the point where I think she actually ended up going private. If that's not the sign of an L, I don't know what is. Because let's be honest, this was one of the laziest comebacks ever. And even in the screenshots she used to try and defend herself, for some reason they're in Dutch. Views are listed as weergaven. In the screenshot, the videos are literally uploaded 10 minutes apart. So Sniperwolf thinks that Azzyland has seen the upload and gone, fuck me, that's such a great concept, I need to do that. Let me set up my camera right now and steal it all. Then proceeds to record, edit, make the thumbnail, get it through the restriction process in 10 minutes. Honestly, if Azzyland managed that, you should make her a majority shareholder of YouTube, because that deserves a round of applause. The last thing I want to talk about is the faking gameplay part. Earlier on, we saw the clip where Azzyland claims to have been on the receiving end of a Sniperwolf launching in her direction, all whilst shouting, "You fake your gameplay." Many people would have seen the lawsuit between Sniperwolf and Sausage, but in case you haven't, I'm going to play this clip from the YouTuber Madcatser.
Creating a new YouTube channel under the moniker Sniperwolf. The concept behind the Sniperwolf YouTube channel was that Young would play video games such as Call of Duty and or Metal Gear Rising, Revengeance, and record his gameplay. Young would then prepare a script for each recording for Shalesh to read on camera while acting as though she was playing the recorded video footage. So he's saying it was all fake.
I mean, let's be honest, it's always been extremely obvious that Sniperwolf hasn't been playing the gameplay. In some of the videos, you can literally see that the controller appears to not even be switched on. And sometimes it has been very clear that controller movements are not matching the movements on screen from the gameplay. Big Call of Duty creators have been calling this out for years. But now I'd like to just talk about the word projection. Nerdcity goes into great detail about this, again, where there's been lots of research done. Honestly, his video is very well put together, and the link will be in the description to that if you do want to indeed watch that after this. But the use of projection when confronting Azzyland is genuinely insane. You know full well that you've done the thing that you're accusing somebody else of. Some would argue you've literally built a career from it. So to throw yourself at someone in a violent way, a way of being physical towards someone, well, it just once again confirms that you're just not all there. And I actually genuinely feel bad for Azzyland in this situation. And I was actually quite pleased for her because I assumed that most of this had died down and she was able to move on with her life, but I guess I assumed wrong, because here we go again. Because Azzy has spoken about before, literally receiving ridiculous amounts of threats just based off this situation, when the whole time it appears that Sniperwolf is just projecting her insecurities and her issues. I don't know firsthand, but obviously I can see with my eyes and hear with my ears that many women creators get lots of stick online just for the fact that they're a woman. I know a couple of content creators who are women, and I see the sort of things they have to put up with every time they want to post a video to their platform. So to have to put up with things like this all the time and then have the huge burden that Sniperwolf's brought to Azzyland, all of the threats from her deluded fan base, well, it's just pathetic to see. But honestly, this is such an insane saga, and I cannot believe it's still going on today. But as we know, Sniperwolf is extremely protected on these platforms, so I guess there'll always be things to uncover. But let me know what you guys think about this topic in the comments down below. And I will be leaving a link to Nerdcity's video so you can give the whole thing an in-depth watch, and I really do recommend it, by the way. And the link to Madcatser's video if you want to take a little more of an in-depth look to the court case. But anyway, guys, that's where I'm going to leave today's video. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, please do feel free to leave a like and subscribe. It's completely free and it helps me out massively. And yeah, cheers. Bye.